if there's no legal obligation to report, then the practice is to not report. Is that how you understand it?
For sexual abuse, do you mean?
For any crime?
Oh,
including
no,
sexual
no,
abuse?
no. We'd certainly recommend, if a crime has been committed, that it be reported to the police.
Well, what about a crime of sexual abuse? You seem to treat that differently.
And you mean, first of all, ringing the branch and asking for...
Well, whether it should be reported.
I think we have direction that it should be reported.
If there's a legal obligation to report.
Yes, yes.
And if there's not a legal obligation to report.
Well, again, if there's any doubts, we are still encouraged to ring the branch legal department just to seek direction from them what to do.
And you would do as you directed by
And
them.
yeah, but yes, and well, not just one individual, but two individuals doing it.
You mean the two elders?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, where do you, in your understanding, where do you expect that line to be drawn as to what is serious enough to be reported to the police and what isn't?
In the matter of crime?
Yes, that's what the police are principally concerned with, crime.
Yeah. Well, apart from child sexual abuse, areas of, say, theft, murder, yeah, general crime where they're breaking the law.
But in your, as I understand it, you say that you have never been involved in reporting a matter to the police.
No, that's correct. Yeah.
Those are my questions, John.
Does anyone else have any questions?
I do, Your Honour.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Who should go first? Have you talked about?
Probably my friend.
I think so. Yes. Does anyone else have any questions?
No, Your Honour.
Yes. Well, Ms. Gallagher, can you go first?
Oh, I beg your pardon, Your Honour. I thought. Just in reference to tab 70, the letter that you wrote. Sorry, I beg your pardon. My name's Gallagher and I represent BCB.
Yeah.
If tab 70 could be called up, please. I'll just clarify, Mr. Jackson, the second paragraph there, where you indicate, I investigated the matter further with the other elder in the Narrogin congregation, Brother Max Fawley. You indicate and spoke to the sister involved and her husband and also other brothers and sisters in the congregation. We gave counsel to both the husband and the wife about going to the elders and setting the matter straight with Jehovah. Could I clarify with you who you are talking about when you say, first of all, I spoke to the sister? Was that BCB? Is that who you're referring to?
So we're talking about the sister involved and her husband?
Yeah, so is that BCB and BCC?
I'd say so, yes.
All right, and then when you talk about we gave counsel to both the husband and wife about going to the elders and setting the matter straight with Jehovah, which husband and wife are you talking about there? Are you talking about Mr. and Mrs. Neal or BCB and BCC?
I would say, I was unsure she was married then, but I would say that would be to be CD and her husband.
What did they have to set straight with Jehovah?
Well, it wasn't that. I think it was keeping in mind that scriptural principle of James was really just going to the elders to try and get help from the elders, because I think it had been spread. Now, I'm not saying by them, but by somebody, I can't remember who it was, where other people started to know about it.
Was there an element then of her being chastised for spreading something that could
No,
affect the congregation,
no,
the reputation of Jehovah?
no. Even the word counsel, again, I wouldn't use that word again.
But you did, and you said
Yeah.
you've given evidence that you didn't keep any notes about conversations. That's right, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is our best record. You agree with that?
Yes.
And it's dated around the time, obviously 1992, around the time that you
Yeah.
spoke with BCB and BCC. What do you think you might have meant then, if I just, before leaving this topic, what do you mean by setting the matter straight with Jehovah?
Well, just going to see what is, how they could be helped or encouraged.
And you didn't mention going to the police for help and encouragement in reporting?
No, that's correct. Yeah.
You indicate further, the next sentence is then showed that after we had done this, that if we repented, Jehovah would forgive us. An element there of these two, if it was reference to BCC and BCB, that they were, the two of them actually, being chastised.
Yes, I would say though that referring it to with BCD, it was more to Bill Neal than to her, that he needed to turn around and change.
So you would deny that there was any element of her and BCB and BCC, her husband, in any way being chastised for telling others about this conduct?
I don't think we would have chastised them, but we would have encouraged them to try and settle the matter within, talking to the elder back there, who was Max Hawley, and try to do what we were doing here as two of us.
Yes. If you go to the second page of tab 70, the top right-hand reference is 0505. Could I just clarify, you note in the middle of that paragraph, well, before I ask that question, this paragraph really is very sympathetic to Mr. Neal, or Brother Neal, isn't it?
Yes.
Indicating from the previous page that his accepted counsel and you were impressed by his humility throughout the ordeal.
Yes. Yeah.
So he was treated, it seems, from this letter with kindness and sympathy, correct?
Yes, because we try to do that as well as to the guilty, to help them. Yeah.
You indicate that in that paragraph, if I could take you to the sentence, now that it is all in the open and discipline has been applied and accepted, he feels much better about his relationship with Jehovah. Do you accept that everybody, including members of the Jehovah's Witnesses, are subject to the discipline of the state?
How do you mean? Sorry.
Well, the church had disciplined him.
Yes.
But do you accept that, and I think when being asked questions by counsel assisting, your reference to several occasions on the previous page may indeed have been a reference to something you don't recall now, but the kissing with the tongue. Now, several, of course, indicates that it was more than once, more than 3 times. It's hard to calculate how many. Do you agree with that proposition?
Yes, yes.
So that as a child, this girl appears, BCB, of course she was a young woman when you interviewed her, but she appears to have been subject to several, multiple even, indecent assaults. Do you agree with that proposition?
Yes.
Do you understand what an indecent assault is?
Well, from my recollection, don't know what the law is, but I'd say that it deals with things such as this type of thing that happened to
Yes, that is-
PCD.
Sorry, an invasion of somebody's space. In fact, their person, coupled with
Yes.
that's the assault, coupled with an
Yes.
act of indecency,
Yes.
which would, of course, be the insertion of the tongue in the mouth.
Mm.
Now, do you understand? Do you have an appreciation that if this matter had been reported to the police before this young one was confronted with her abuser, as occurred, you accept that, correct?
Yes.
Do you accept that if Mr. Neal had been charged, or are you aware of this, that if he had been charged with multiple counts of indecent assault, just say, do you have an appreciation that he probably would have received bail to stay away from BCB?
At that time, no.
Do you understand also that he would have had to stay away from her? Sorry, I'll withdraw that. He and anyone associated with him would have had to have
Yes.
stayed away from her. Do you have an appreciation that that's what would have happened?
Yes.
If this matter had likely
Yes.
happened?
Yes. Yes, and our publications have certainly stressed that over these years.
Do you have an appreciation also that if the matter had gone to hearing, that BCB would not have had to face her accuser, sorry, I beg your pardon, her abuser even then? Because, if I might,
Sorry.
there are facilities available for victims of sexual sexual assaults to give evidence from remote locations.
Yes, that I do know now. Then, no, I did not know.
Of course, so you'd agree, given that sort of the care with which the state deals with these sorts of allegations, that greater care should have been given by members of the faith. Do you agree with that? In how you treated, I beg your pardon, how you treated
Yeah, sure.
BCB?
Yes. Yes, I do believe that it's a situation. And I feel that, you know, we really did, while I was there for those 6 days, we did try to help her, encourage her.
Can I interject there? I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
You didn't, did you? You didn't encourage her to go to the police, did you?
Well, that's true. Yeah, I didn't do that, but I'm saying that we still tried to help her.
Mr. Jackson, it's plain from her evidence that she was very severely affected by these events. You agree?
I would say yes.
It's also plain that the process that you engaged in inflicted further trauma on her. Do you understand that?
I understand it, but at the time, I don't think I appreciated it to that degree.
There's no reference in this letter or any concern for her or her welfare or what Jehovah's Witness might do to help her, is there?
I thought there were some publications that we quoted and scriptures that we would have used to help her in the letter, I thought.
But it's clear that she needed psychiatric help.
Well, if she felt that and we felt that, then she would question us on it. We certainly would have recommended it.
Did it occur to you at the time that she may need help from medical professionals?
I'd say no.
Well, you know now that she has done and does need it. Is Jehovah's Witness prepared to help her to receive it?
I would say they certainly would. They would be conscious of spending time with her, and they would also recommend her seeking medical help.
Would they be prepared to pay for it?
Well, I don't think I could answer that question.
Why not?
They'd have to write to the branch of the governing body just to seek out that.
It's not an automatic matter, is it? If someone's damaged by the actions of an elder.
Not that I'm
Church.
aware of, no, sorry.
Do you think that the church should provide funds to help her with her medical care?
Well, I guess it would be something for them to consider, but
Now, what about you? Do you think the church should?
well, I think we give a lot of assistance to them. I think it's an area that I really haven't thought about and would like to say. I think financial assistance is a big thing that maybe, they could be thinking about, but I wouldn't make that statement that they would do it or wouldn't do it.
What would you recommend if you were asked your opinion as to whether they should give her financial support for medical care?
I think it could be considered.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, I just want to clarify.
You need to identify yourself because there's people watching this on the screen.
Oh, certainly. My name is Colin,
And you appear for?
and I appear for you, amongst others. So, Ms. Gallagher was just asking you questions about tab 70, which was your letter. And particularly, if that could be brought up again, please. At paragraph 2, you're asked in relation to where you have written, we gave counsel to both the husband and wife about going to the elders and setting the matter straight with Jehovah. You're asked whether that referred to BCB and BCC being her husband or referred to the Neils, correct?
Yes.
After you've said that, it quotes James 5:13 to 15. Is that in relation to what you've just said before that?
Yes, it encourages ones who have been damaged in some way just to go and try and talk to the elders so the elders can help them and encourage them.
Okay, thank you. Yesterday you were asked questions about how BCB would have been aware of the process of how complaints were dealt with, correct?
Yes.
When a member of the congregation is approaching baptism, are they given a book to study?
Yes, it's entitled Organised for the Ministry, I think.
And that book contains various questions relating to the baptism.
Yes.
And that is a book that those people are expected to be conversant with.
Yes.
And that is a book that they are expected to also consult throughout their lives in relation to matters relating to their faith.
Correct, yes.
If we could bring up tab 109, please. You able to identify that as, is that the book?
Yes, organised to do Jehovah's will.
And that is the book that people get when they're approaching
Yes.
baptism. If we go to ringtail 88, please. And you see that heading, handling cases of serious wrongdoing.
Yes,
So this is something that would be contained in the book that each and every Jehovah's Witness should have when they're approaching baptism
that's correct.
and should be aware of.
Should be, yes.
Okay. Moving on from that document, you also asked yesterday various questions about the procedures by which investigation took place. And you were shown various sections from the Book of Elders.
Correct.
And one of your responses was that you would refer to the Book of Elders, but you would also look to letters and publications, correct?
Correct.
And you've said that again today. If we could go to tab 124, please. I might have to... Can we make that smaller so that you can see more of it, please? Okay. Is that one of the letters to which you refer?
It is, yes.
And that one is dated October the 1st, 2012.
Correct.
It's addressed to all bodies of elders.
Yes.
And it says there in the first paragraph that it replaces... Sorry. The letter updates the letters to all bodies of elders regarding child abuse dated August the 1st, 1995, March the 14th, 1997, July the 20th, 1998, April the 1st, 2004, and June the 5th, 2006, and May the 24th, 2010. Correct?
Yes, correct.
It also asks that all those previous letters be removed from the
Yes.
congregational permanent file. So this, as of the 1st of October 2012, really was the document that you would refer to for matters after that date. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
And the contents of that letter related to legal concerns regarding accusations of child abuse. You have to give
Yes.
verbal answer.
Yes.
Congregational concerns regarding accusations of child sexual abuse. That's the second point under the table of contents. Right at the top.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's right at the top of the document. See that?
Yes, congregational concerns regarding accusations of child sexual abuse, yes.
Helping victims of child sexual abuse
Yes,
and restrictions and privileges.
yes.
So is that, when you were talking about referring to letters, was
That's
that
correct.
this document amongst others?
Yes.
You spoke about also referring to publications. When you say that, were you referring to articles that would have appeared in the Watchtower and the Awake magazine?
Yes, there have been articles really as way back in 1970, in the 80s, in the 90s, and in 2000.
When you say articles, you mean articles relating to child sexual abuse?
Yes, yes.
Are those publications available to everyone within the congregation?
Yes.
Yes. Nothing further.
Yes, Mr. Stewart.
You go to tab 109, please, the first page. So this is the organised to do Jehovah's Will document you referred to.
Correct.
Now, your involvement with BCB's case was in 1992, right?
Yes.
Go to page 2. of 109, you'll see this document came into effect in 2005.
Correct.
I take it you then wouldn't have expected BCB to have had this document in 1991-92.
No, but we did have a document prior to that.
What was that?
I think it was entitled Organised for the Ministry or to do the Ministry.
You don't know offhand just what that said about the processes?
I can't remember. I can't remember the release or just what it says. The release date, I should say.
Thank you, Your Honour.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jackson. You're excused.
Thank you very much.
Next witness will be Mr. Bello. Would this be a convenient time, Your Honour?
All right, we'll take the morning adjournment.
Yeah, Dr. Jason Morrison, theologist again. I just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and I hope you got plenty of self-rediscovery and freedom out of it. If you watched it on YouTube, please share or like, maybe even comment. If you watched it on Facebook, like, comment, share. But most of all, get out and live. This isn't a rehearsal. You've got a one-off life. Don't let your loyalty and your faithfulness blind you to the life that you should be experiencing. Till the next video, thank you for watching, and bye for now.